You want to know what's worse than having an absolutely miserable NFL season, having absolutely nothing to show for it? The Dallas Cowboys could put themselves in position to do just that. And that's why Cowboys fans should be worried that our worst nightmare is about to happen. Let's get right into this, but please be sure to subscribe as we are quickly approaching 25,000 subscribers. Help your boy out. Help me get there. If you haven't subbed yet, go ahead and sub up. And let's get into this because I'm getting a little bit concerned, y'all. I'm getting a little bit concerned. Dallas Cowboys fans are warmly embracing Team Tank. Whether the Dallas Cowboys are trying to tank on purpose or they're tanking organically because the team isn't that good, they're tanking, all right? It's a lot of English professors in my comments. Oh, they're not tanking. They just suck it. I don't play semantics. They're tanking. We're just saying that in the sense of the season is literally tanking to the bottom of the ocean, okay? They're tanking. Whether they want to or not, they're tanking, okay? But one thing that ain't tanking is Tank Lawrence. Demarcus Lawrence said he's still close to returning. He's going to take his time and make sure he's healthy. Unlike the talk surrounding Zach Martin retiring at the end of the season, Lawrence has made it clear this is not the end for him. He said he is not going out injured. He is playing next year. Where is the question? Whoo! Okay, that's not actually the part I want to kind of, drop on you guys, but we're going to quickly discuss D-Law real quick. This could be part of the nightmare for being real, though. So clearly, Demarcus Lawrence intends on continuing his career. Whether or not it's with the Cowboys is the question, and what's really, really scary about this is I could absolutely see Demarcus Lawrence going and playing with the Washington Commanders or going up to Detroit and playing for a Dan Campbell. And he would be an absolute nightmare to play up against because you bet your bottom dollar he's going to be doing everything he can to make sure that the Cowboys regret the decision of letting him walk if they were to let him walk. But something that's even scarier for Cowboys fans is potentially not having anything to show for having such a terrible season. The Dallas Cowboys are going to be getting some help back pretty soon. And I'm not a fan of this. I don't think that they should be bringing any of these guys back. Whether your name is Demarcus Lawrence, DaRon Bland, or whoever else, anybody that can help the Cowboys win games need to just focus on getting healthy this season, straight up. Because the last thing we need to do is to win too many games to take ourselves out of a decent draft position. And with DaRon Bland coming back and Brandon Cooks on his way back and Marshawn Kneeland on his way back from an injury. Then you got J-Lou, who could potentially come back this week. This team is starting to get healthy. And the issue with that is that could completely ruin the Dallas Cowboys draft position. Look, y'all, I understand. It sounds weird and it puts a bad taste in some of y'all mouth to actively root for the Dallas Cowboys to lose games, but it doesn't do us any good this year or for the foreseeable future for the Cowboys to go 7-10 or 8-9 or something like that. End up winning a few more games this season because, trust me, they have some winnable games coming up on the schedule. We're going to take a look in just a second and screw ourselves out of premium draft position. I mean, even at 3-7, the Cowboys are sitting at number 9 right now. Could you imagine what winning 7 games would do to the Dallas Cowboys draft position? You would probably be looking at like a late teens type of pick. You're going to be picking somewhere between 15 and 20. And picking between 15 and 20 every round is, yeah, you're getting some decent talent, but there's a huge, huge difference between picking in the top 20 and picking in the top 8, top 6, 7 players every single round. And right now the Cowboys are set up to do that, especially with a lot of these teams on this list ahead of us. A lot of these teams still have to play each other. So there's going to be some wins and losses to go around here between this top 10 teams. But if Dallas were to bring back a DaRon Bland, bring back a Demarcus Lawrence, and we look at their upcoming schedule, Washington Commanders, I mean, yeah, the Commanders look good this season, but divisional games, you really never know what can happen, and the Cowboys just had the Commanders' number over the past few years. I really kind of hoping that we lose out the rest of the way so we can get a premium draft pick every single round. But I could easily see the Cowboys upsetting the Commanders in Week 12, especially if some of these guys come back, or DeRon Bland or any of these guys actually come back and play this week. I could easily see the Commanders getting upset by the Cowboys. Even with Cooper Rush at quarterback, if the defense plays out of their mind and have one of them out-of-body experiences, it's possible. It's a divisional matchup, y'all. Then we got the New York Giants. They're going to be playing Tommy DeVito on Thanksgiving. It's possible we accidentally win that game, especially if we get healthier going into Week 13. Then we got the Bengals, probably going to lose that game. You would have to think that Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow are probably going to tear us up that game. Carolina Panthers, Week 15. Hopefully we would lose that game, but I mean, I wouldn't be shocked at all if we ended up winning the game. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, probably going to lose that game, but Baker Mayfield is also one of those guys that's capable of turning the ball over multiple times in a single contest, which could lead to a cheap victory for the Cowboys. The Eagles probably going to lose that. Commanders probably going to lose that, especially if they are not resting anybody or anything like that. So at least there's at least 2 or 3 games on the schedule the Cowboys will probably still be favored in. We're looking at the Carolina Panthers and the New York Giants games. They will probably be still favored in those games. And if they get healthy and pretty much everyone's on the field outside of Sam Williams and Dak Prescott, then there's a huge chance that they could upset one of these teams. And I just really hope that doesn't happen, y'all. There's just no point. And if you're going to be as bad as the Cowboys look this season, there's no way you want to reward a terrible season with a middle of the round type of draft pick, man. If you're going to be bad, go all the way and be bad. Go full gusto and get a top 5 pick and really expedite this turnaround for the Cowboys. Because to be quite frank, y'all, if we keeping it real, the Cowboys are actually set up for a major turnaround already next season. I promise you, this is not me being overly, optimistic or anything like that. I learned my lesson, y'all. The Cowboys are, for real though, set up for a major turnaround if the team can just get their head out of their ass, right? They're going to have likely a 3rd or last place schedule going into next season, which is what the Washington is playing, and which is why they had so many tomato cans on their schedule, and they looked so much better than what they actually are earlier on in the season, right? So you got that last or 3rd place schedule. You got to have a new head coach coming in. You have premium draft prospects just with a few spots really to fill. You're looking at the D-line, another receiver, a running back, couple O-line picks. You're going to have a premium draft position, and you already got all pros set up in some very important places on the field. And you have guys coming back from injury like a Sam Williams and Dak Prescott and some of these other guys, right? So the Cowboys are already set up for a major turnaround in 2025 before anything else has actually happened, before free agency or drafting or anything has actually happened. We're already set up for a decent 2025, right? But that could be so much better if you pair a roster that already has some talent on it. This isn't like the Chicago Bears from a season ago or the Carolina Panthers. The Cowboys actually still have very good players in place at some very important positions. And if you pair that up with getting like a top 5 type of pick in every one of these rounds in this upcoming draft, and getting a receiver, getting a running back, getting some D linemen, maybe get some offensive line help, whatever you need to do, then I can easily see this team making a huge jump. But we can't do none of that. We can't do none of that if these guys come back from injury and they actually help us win some games. So Brandon Cooks, DeRon Bland, Marshawn Nealon, Demarcus Lawrence, all you guys, hey man, get healthy, enjoy your families, enjoy being millionaires. You don't need to play football for the Dallas Cowboys in 2024. That's all I got to say, and we stink the same old Cowboys.
Calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still them boys? Y'all usually check on me. Listen. I'm still them boys. Hey! Woo! Oh, shut up, my boy, shut up. Hey! I'm still them boys.